Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Travel Coloring. Today we will be going to Iceland, and let me tell you, the creatures, the legends, and the mysteries surrounding this island are so interesting. So follow along to hear them and get comfortable. Let's color together, get your coloring supplies, get your coloring books, and join me. So the first one I stumbled upon is the legend of the Halder folk, or the hidden folk. Basically, they are these creatures that are smaller, thinner, and they say they're also prettier than humans. And they have normal human lives, so they have families, they have homes, they have funerals, they have their life is very similar to ours, but they live in secluded areas in the mountains. They're very connected to nature, and they have magical powers, which, we don't have. So that's a big difference. And their magical power basically consists in the fact that they can appear and disappear whenever they want, which is very useful. I would love to have that power. That would be great. But I don't. But, good for them. And they're really nice and very chill. They're very passive. They don't bother humans. They just mind their own business, but they don't like to be bothered. So they don't bother humans unless humans bother them. Then they can become kind of malevolent. In fact, it is known that they are the reason behind building projects being canceled. Basically, what the belief is that they cast spells if projects are being built near their homes or the areas in which they live. They cast spells, and machines stop working out of the blue. There are unexpected accidents, and injuries happen for no apparent reason, which caused the government in 2012 to sign a protection act to deter any building on sites associated to the hidden folk. So it's a fact. It's a well-known fact. It's not even a legend at this point. It's just a fact, which I think is so cool and interesting. And I've never been to Iceland, and I would love to go and see what this is all about and go looking for them respectfully, very respectfully, because maybe actually I wouldn't want to go look for them because I don't know. I'd have to think about that, but still super interesting. Another legend I happened upon is the legend of Lake Lagerfeld and the Lagarjot worm. And this one's pretty creepy. So, it all starts from this legend in which once upon a time, a young girl was gifted a golden ring by her mother. So she wanted to know what her mother advised her to do with that precious object. And her mother said that if you go find a worm and you position it on top of the gold, it will grow. So since the girl wanted to have more gold, that's exactly what she did. So she went to the lake, the Lagerfeld Lake, that's positioned in the far eastern part of the island, and she found a worm. So she brought this worm back to her house. She put it in this chest, in which she also put her golden ring. She closed the chest and waited for a few weeks, because obviously she hoped to open the chest and find at least 2 or 3 golden rings, which would be great because, inflation and everything. But what happened when she opened the chest was that it wasn't the gold that had grown. Yeah, it was the worm, obviously. So basically, it wasn't even a worm anymore. It was more like a snake. And that was kind of scary to her, understandably. So she took the whole chest and she threw it in the lake. I'm not sure if she threw the ring in the lake too, because I hope she kept the ring for herself. Anyway, she threw the worm in the lake. That's the important part. And, she hoped to be done with it and never see it again. But today, that worm is known to be humongous, and there have been multiple sightings. One of the oldest sightings that we have record of is in 1589, when it said that the worm rose his humps up from the water really, really high. And it was so big and up high that they said that a whole ship could have sailed underneath it. That's how big it was, a hump of it was. And when the worm, I mean, it's funny to call him worm at this point, but when the huge monster went back into the water, it created humongous waves and the earth trembled like an earthquake. So yeah, I don't know if worm is the best word for it at this point. But not only, obviously there were more sightings from then to now, and there is a video captured of the worm in 2012. So yeah, go check that video out and tell me if you believe it or not. I don't know if I believe the whole story, but I definitely could see how maybe there's a weird creature living in there that we don't know much about. So that's that with the worm, and let me know what you think. Okay, so this next legend is a little bit more on the dark side. It's about trolls. So they truly believe in trolls that are basically humanoid monsters that live in mountainous regions, and they only leave their homes for foraging for food. Guess what their food is. I'm gonna give you 3 seconds. Yeah, it's humans. So if you guessed humans, you were right. But there is this one troll. She's called Grilla, and she's a little bit more creepy than the other ones because her favorite food isn't just humans, it's children. So she basically leaves her isolated home during Christmas in search of naughty children. And the thing is that they have magical abilities, and one of them is a very sharp sense of hearing. So she's able to detect children crying, screaming, whining from miles away. So yeah, mothers usually keep their children away from her supposed home, which is the Dima Borgur lava fields. I'm pretty sure I didn't say that right, but it's a famous volcanic formation gateway to hell. So yeah, if you're in Iceland and have children, maybe think about it. I don't know. It's not all bad though. They also have some protective spirits because after what we just heard, yeah, they probably need them. And they're called the whites, the land whites. They're these spirits that each protect a different part of the island. So there's the griffin of the north, the dragon of the east, the mountain giant of the south, and the bull of the west. And they have famously hold off an invasion from Danish King Harald Bluetooth in the 10th century. So that's how powerful they are. So these are the legends I found for this session of travel coloring. I'm really curious to know what you guys think about them, if you believe them, if you've been there, if you've seen something, if you've heard something. It's so interesting to me. So if you have, please let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this travel coloring session and my coloring pages, you will find them all in my Etsy shop that's linked in my bio. And I'll see you next time. Bye!